got to see a film that I didn't think would happen in my lifetime. I actually got to see Jeff and Jason in person for a film that's known as Game. Looking really forward to it.
Almost as an excuse for an internal mechanism that was just full of faults. You know, he's quite a lonely guy. Obviously, with sheets of trauma going off because of his time in the army and God knows what else. I often think throughout the film, what's his gaff look like? It's like, what does he do apart from this?
I always imagine it like a shed.
Yeah, or just
some kind of
like a kitchen, like just a rock cave with a sword hung up in the jaw.
Book about a guy stuck in a car, and we were going to do a theatre production in a motorway roundabout in Bristol, but and I mean I think it's still a good idea, especially with theatre. And people that live around that area coming to see theatre for the first time as well, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so you never know what the next job, and we couldn't do it, and for lots of reasons, and then it just turned into film. I knew John for like over 20 years, working with him on many film ideas, like music videos and so on, and doing Port Zed's visuals. Mark and I went to school together. We always talked about films, and then we brought Rob Williams in, who's a writer who lives locally in Port Zed. When I found out he's a 2018 Judge Dredd writer, and we're all massive fans of like Judge Dredd, or me and Mark are especially, and so we went and saw him. His films have been brilliant. Filmed in England, especially, is just amazing. Yeah, we all rate what he does, and so I mean it's the thing of kind of like it's a low budget film with two blokes in a wood. You know what I mean? It's gonna kind of give you that vibe already, isn't it? You know what I mean? Because there's lots of woodland in England.
Yeah. There was a lot of influences we were trying not to repeat as well, and to like the trip sequence. We were trying just to keep it. Not fall into those tropes. I could easily go and do a load of analog feedback. I could start distorting the image, and I even tried some of it, and it just didn't live in that film.
Same as violence as well. I mean, just like that whole thing, the British kind of thing that ends up being like just loads of blood thrown everywhere, and like Jason
cave his head in.
You know what I mean? Yeah, cave his head in, do it, smash his head in. You know what I mean? And it's that whole thing, from the point where Jason needs a shit, then that's the turning point in the film. We're not going down that road. We're not going down the violent road. We're going somewhere else.
It's also interesting that you pointed out the 70s cinema angle to it, because I personally think that was a time of great cinema when people were perhaps both a little more patient in the way they made films, but also patient in their ability to watch them. And we certainly weren't in any rush to deliver big moments. It was important. You got in. You had to read the book to get into it.
You had to earn it, and then be rewarded. That's what the film does.
Yeah, and you're right. I do love the moment where Jason, your face just like fades back into the edge, because there could have been so many other endings.
The Homer moment.
Yes.
The Homer Simpson moment.
It took a while to get, didn't it?
And it was pissing down the rain. We'd even packed up. Do you remember the audio guy packed up?
Yes,
And
he was going, wasn't he?
He got 'em off.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Mark with Skinny E Media, here with the legend himself, when in the hand of the public demand.
How you doing?
I'm doing very good myself. He's just going to be tied up in knots while mixing along with some glory boxes for his new film Game that will be coming to a cinema near you.
Game, come see it.
I'm out of Game for the Q&A screening. It was an advanced screening before it will be released anywhere else. Directed by John Minton, but more importantly with the Sleep from Nod's Portishead clash of clans, as far as I'm concerned, made me very happy. And as you saw from the photos from this particular video, I did get to meet them in person, shake hands. I even shared my Sex Cell CD that I signed for everyone to Jason particularly. He can share with Andrew if he wants to, and everyone else. But yeah, that was very honourable, and just seeing the two worlds collide or something like that in a film that's essentially a psychological thriller that takes a lot of sort of elements one could see from like a Ben Wheatley film. And I even said on, as you saw from the video where they were being interviewed or having to do the Q&A, I was the first person to ask. I even said about what were your influences, and I mentioned about Ben Wheatley, and even said 70s cinema. And I even proceeded to say, much to everyone's comic effect and their laughter, and pardon the expression, I would say this is the best West Country film since Straw Dogs. And you get the idea. I'm sure a few people who are watching would certainly laugh at that if they haven't filmed that already and posted it on Picture House. But yeah, that it will definitely make you like, hey, wait a minute. And I think the use of music in it, especially Maurice Ravel's Bolero and Prodigy's Everybody's in the Place Fairground mix, which I remember hearing so many times when I was a young lad, makes me very happy. I know there's spoiler for it, but still, you can't ignore it. And garden centres, like what? So I'm a happy camper as far as I'm concerned, and it fulfilled the things it needed to fulfill for me at the very least. If I say any more than that, you might be like, hold on a minute, don't know. Just getting the opportunity to meet with Jason and Jeff and talk about the film itself and also their music, and even interview Kid Koala earlier on this year with Space Cadet, and even somehow mention about Quadrophenia and saying you should get BAFTA nominations to Marc Besson, who is the actor in this, because Jason was probably the more known about person, but Marc Besson very much commanded the stage, having to be upside down in the vehicle for a large majority of it. That is not easy, but it happened. More props to them. I say start off a BAFTA campaign. Jeff is connected with good people, including Alex Garland, who did Ex Machina and Civil War. So, what could go wrong? As far as I'm concerned. Like so. This is your host, Mark with Skinny E Media, here to let you know, go check out Game when it comes out. Signing off from the Picture House in Hackney, and at the Hackney Central Station. Overground, which hardly I've ever been to myself. How much I don't know about London, it's beyond me.